Today's Thursday, October 30th. We are here for the Facilities and Operations Subcommittee. Today is October 30th, 2025. Roll call, Deb, please.
Mr. Agia?
Here.
Mr. Bailey?
Here.
Ms. Larrabee?
Here. Salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. On to open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made whether perceived or unperceived by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Deb, do we have any citizens input? We do not. Thank you. We'll head on to 3.1, discussion and vote to refer the truck driver organized labor job description. Would that be you, Ken?
Sure.
Mr. Pacheco.
So this is a combination position, the truck driver position and organized laborer. Some of that work was being done on the custodial side. The organized labor part wasn't, but the other work was being done on the custodial side. We have more of a need for this kind of position on the maintenance side to move around equipment that currently is being done by others, and also to do a little more of the skilled labor side of the work. The intent is also to fill the regular labor position that is currently vacant in the maintenance side, to do the day-to-day tasks of unskilled labor in that realm. So this position does have some qualifications, requirements. It also has some preferred qualifications that we're looking for. Boom truck operator, things like that are all certifications that will enhance this position. Responsibilities in this position vary, but a lot of this work is being piecemealed out to a few different people, and the consistency sometimes isn't there. So we're putting it all under one envelope, or one umbrella, I'm sorry. It'll make doing some of this work better. We do have some admin people, doing some of these in lieu of a person like this. The key management piece in some of the schools is not handled by the school. It's handled by different individuals and the admin team that shouldn't be doing that work because they're not. It's not what their job is. Okay, this key management stuff is one of the bigger things that we have that needs to get a little more organized. So, as the maintenance division of F&O is starting to gain some traction and doing some good work, this position will enhance that group completely. And I think it'll complete that group in a way that we currently have a bunch of different people doing this work.
Yeah, Bobby.
So pretty much what you're saying is the position is needed to kind of bring together some of those pieces that have kind of been, like just piecemealed and
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. And some of that is moving. So for instance, we move lifts around on a weekly basis all over the district.
Yeah.
Depending on what the need is. So I'm usually grabbing a campus person to do that work, hooking on a trailer, a campus trailer, and taking it with the maintenance pickup to different sites, dropping it off there, leaving it there. That person now is going to go back to whatever job they should have been at, and then the same thing's happening on the pickup.
Yeah.
So this will keep it all in one spot, because most of the time the lifts are being used by custodians.
Yeah.
In the cleaning periods, but when it's not cleaning time, it's mostly being used by maintenance. So this will fit right in with that skill group.
Where is this in the budget?
The position is in the budget. It's in the maintenance
But
budget.
where, like,
I guess it's in the budget, and then this is coming to us now, because the budget was July 1.
Right.
So is it just been vacant, and is this one of those positions
So
that we?
this is a new position, this is not one that's in the budget. This is not one that's in the maintenance, I'm sorry, it's not a existing position, this is a new position to that budget.
But will it be funded through
It will be
a
funded.
conversion of something that's already in the budget?
So it was, so if we pulled out one of the plumber steam fitter, because we no longer have a need for steam fitters in the district, and this is the position that replaced it, so it's already in the budget as an organized labor.
And we discussed that.
It's vacant right now.
Well, we discussed that at some point,
Yes,
at the budget.
yes, yes.
So what about the truck driver? I see truck driver on here, and I know that we went from 2 truck drivers
Yes.
on the custodian side
Yes,
to 1 on the maintenance side.
right.
Where is that now? So we only got one person doing
So
it?
one senior, right now, yes, in and out, depending on who's out, who's in, you know. Currently, there are 2 people doing that job. I don't have a position on the maintenance side that's been approved for that person to go over
I
to
guess
the maintenance side.
I think I'm mixing up 2 different things.
Okay,
We have 2 custodians doing
Yes.
truck driver / senior custodian.
Yes.
Under the old contract.
we do,
2 people
Yes.
doing that job.
yes,
We passed a contract in July
yes,
that said those positions are gone,
yes.
and we're making 1 on the maintenance side. So
No,
therefore,
so one position staying as a senior custodian floater. One position was always staying in that.
on the custodian side.
Yeah, on the custodian side, one position was staying.
Okay,
That position would be for whoever is at senior. That position would go,
2 guys are on the truck right now doing that work.
only one person will remain on the custodial side.
Well, I guess I'm looking for an update on where is that now. So you 2 guys are on the custodian.
Right,
As of July 1, we
Yes.
changed the contract.
yes,
We said only one of them staying on the custodian side.
yes.
Which one? And is it he staying, and therefore you're going backwards, like to a
One-
regular, a
One would
junior
be,
until?
well, there wouldn't be any junior.
No, I'm
They
saying,
would
what do
both
they do in
stay
the meantime,
seniors.
I guess?
They would both stay seniors, or they would bump a senior.
But
they would
like,
bump out.
I guess I'm saying, what
Right
is
now,
happening to those 2 guys?
right now, they're still driving the truck. Right
Right,
now, they're
that's-
still delivering things.
So
I don't
that's-
have a position
You understand
on
my
this side.
question, Dr. Curley?
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
had 2
this-
people doing custodian side, senior truck
Yep.
driver. As of
The
July
same job
1,
they
we got
were
rid of
doing.
those.
Yep.
1 should be the senior custodian, whatever they call it, truck driver.
Right.
Custodian side. The other one, as of July 1, we created a position on the maintenance side. I'm asking, where is that now? And what I'm hearing, I think, is, no, we just never did any of that. We voted for it, but we never did it. So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's
and
here right
does
now.
that-
Oh, the position is here right now. One of the positions that was negotiated in the contract is here.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Exactly.
This is not an addition to that.
No, this is that extra, that's that position that moved from one house to the other.
Correct. I think that's
Right.
important for us to know. Like, it's not an additional,
No,
this is from the contract where we said one of
You're
those
splitting
position is going to
exactly.
go on the maintenance side,
Yes.
which is this.
yes.
It's not a new position
No.
for this.
No, it's a new position because we never had this.
It's a new job description.
Exactly,
But it's not a new position because
No, because
there's
it's in
2
the-
positions for 2 people.
yes,
Now it's open for anybody to apply for
yes,
under this,
under
on the
this,
maintenance side. So
Right.
they'll follow the contract of whatever
on the
that means for,
maintenance side.
on the
Yes.
maintenance side to hire.
Exactly.
And I guess that the timing is just what is kind of,
This is all on me.
I'm just
I
saying.
haven't had the
But
opportunity.
you get the idea of what
No,
I'm
no, I
saying.
get
It's
what
like
you're
3-4
saying.
months after we already
I get what you're saying,
voted
absolutely.
for. But this is only that one position.
This is only one position, this is not, it's a new position based on.
Open for anybody to apply to,
Yes,
and then at
exactly.
that point,
There is no-
whoever gets it based on whatever.
Qualifications.
None
Yep.
of these qualifications are set up for one person.
No,
This is just
This
general,
is-
like, this isn't to say,
whoever takes this job.
I want to
this
give
is
him the
it.
job so I can make the qualifications
No.
that cover what Bobby can do.
Nope.
This is just general,
Nope.
and superintendent has the right to waive any of them, so it's not like somebody, because I hold a scissor lift certification and everybody else, somebody could apply without it. There
Exactly.
might be a better
Maybe a better
person and fit,
Yeah,
get the certification.
absolutely. Yep.
So it's not a new, I guess that was the only thing
Right.
that I was saying. So I feel like it's what we had already voted on. It's, as you said, it's a little behind, but
Yep.
make a motion to refer.
Second,
Deb?
Mr. Agia?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
yes.
Ms. Larrabee?
Yes.
One more question on what.
Yes.
You had mentioned about the filling the organized laborer
Filling this position. Yeah, this is the
No, like I
organized
thought you
labor.
were, I thought when you were given the thing that
Yep.
you were now gonna fill a labor position in addition, is
So
that,
there is an additional position in the budget that was never filled.
which is what we've
Which is-
been calling the
exactly.
basic labor?
Just the basic
Lower level,
labor,
just the
right.
basic labor that I've been trying
Right.
for 2 years to get
Yes,
to be filled.
so that position is also gonna go up at the same time.
And that didn't get converted,
No,
because at some point we either didn't
No,
fill it,
it's
but then
yeah,
it's
it's
just
still a
been
line
sitting
item.
there
Yes,
idle.
Idle,
And
yes.
a basic, lower level,
Yep.
lowest level, I think that's important for us to know too, because
Yes.
we've been paying everybody like the top, I said that about
Yep.
the groundskeepers, you know, we're
Right.
paying $68,000 for 9 groundskeepers.
Yep.
Instead, we could have paid $40,000, give somebody a legitimate, you know, job, and we're paying the top rate instead of that, so I totally agree with that.
Okay, 3.2, discussion and vote to refer revise job description, field supervisor, nutrition, and food services. Mr. Pacheco.
So this job description, the only changes that I'm looking for, so we have an approved, this position is an approved position already. What I'm trying to fix is some of the small things. One of it is this position reports to the old position reports to the Assistant Director of Nutrition. The Assistant Director of Nutrition and Food Services, when these job descriptions came about, was a person who was the environmental director. And because of the fact that the Director of Nutrition is not an employee, that person was the one who did any of the discipline work that needed to be done. So the only changes on this there's two. One of them is Chief Operating Officer or their designee. That's the one piece. And then the second one is, what I'm looking for is the salary to be negotiated. There's a salary item already in the budget for this particular position. What I'm looking to have as a little bit of a leeway is if there are other events, like right now we would have, if we have a school event in the late afternoon, after their day is done, we would ask one of the people to come in later in the day and stay for the event. What I'm asking is that creates a problem because now that one person is doing all the schools in the course of the day instead of just their school. So this will allow us to pay for a school event separately. So that's one of the pieces. The second one is grant administration, and basically we have like a fresh fruit grant. We'd like to add that into one of these jobs or split it against the two positions that are currently available. And then the summer program, what I'm asking for is these positions were always 10-month positions. I'd like to make them 12-month positions. So that will increase the salary, but I just need to negotiate that number. But we use these people all summer long. We're doing 110, 115,000 lunches in the course of the summer for CD Rec. And these are the people who run the kitchen, in that process.
In all of the schools and drop-offs and pickups.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just a question with the 12 months, like the drop-offs to pickups. It was a school dropping off lunches, going around, and it's, yeah.
So we do some deliveries because we do move stuff around in the summer, depending on where we're having our summer programs. The stuff that goes to CD Rec, they pick up and then they deliver to
Yeah.
the parks
Yeah,
and different, some of our schools are fed by CD Rec inadvertently through us.
yeah. I worked the program for like 9 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Second.
So, first question is on the part about changing the title of who they report to.
Yes,
We have how many of these field supervisors?
two.
Two
We
currently.
only have one now. We just hired the second one.
But is there
There was
three
an opening.
positions?
No, there's only two.
There's always been two.
Yes. we
And
didn't
who are
add to
those
that.
people?
One, right now, Nancy Cardoza,
Yeah.
and the second one is Rhonda.
That's the new one?
Yes,
Like, she
Rhonda just got hired.
Just got hired.
She's a 25-year veteran of the district.
Right.
But she just got hired
And then
as this
who
position.
left? Did people leave? Like, why is there a vacancy? I'm just trying to think of name, like a,
The person who left was Diane Correa.
Brian Correa. So,
This position has been vacant for over a year,
yep.
year and a half.
So if I'm looking at the old job description here, the one
Yes.
the old one, stated 11/19/2007.
Yes,
So anyone that was in this particular job
yes,
was actually supervised by the Assistant Director of Nutrition and Food Services, which was Joe
exactly.
Correa.
Yes.
Am I,
Well, but when there was an issue with this job, then I would step in.
yep, but
Because I was the
ultimately,
one who issued any kind of discipline.
yep, but ultimately in '07
You're right.
till now, because we haven't changed
Exactly.
it, Joe Correa, his position was the Assistant Director of Nutrition,
Yeah,
who this job
yes,
dealt with.
yes.
You can anticipate my concern about how that happened, and we shouldn't have that happen. A lot of problems there.
Yep.
So that makes sense to change it, but it would have made sense to change that a long time ago when that person was working for her husband for how many years and having all this other nonsense go on. The piece of the move, the flexible schedule as needed and 8-hour workday, I think that was already included in the original, like it's in both. So I don't necessarily like to why we would need to move them.
Well, the flexible schedule was not necessarily 12-month.
So what? I didn't hear
So
you.
I'm looking for 12 month.
No, I guess, I'm just saying the
Yeah.
part of the flexible
Oh, the
schedule
flexible
piece
schedule.
is
well,
already
because
in here, so
There
like,
was
if-
always somebody else who did the grants.
yeah, no, I get it. I'm just trying to like lay out what is the rationale for the full committee.
Yes,
I don't think
Oh,
the
yeah.
flexible schedule piece should be mentioned because that
Okay.
was already in here.
Okay.
The thing you're looking for is a 12-month along with the flexible schedule.
Right.
So they're gonna have both technically, but the new things are grants and 12-month.
Yep.
At that point, somebody can say, well, what is that? What's the rationale? But I think the purpose of subcommittees is to
Yep.
work on this so we get a better
Sure.
product before us. So I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Deb, roll please.
Mr. Agia?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Larrabee?
Yes. On to 3.3, discussion and vote to refer clothing, textiles, shoes, and books recycling. Mr. Pacheco.
so a while back, we had a company that requested to put containers at our buildings. They were there, we were asked by the school committee to remove them because there was some issues with them. So this company here does it a little different than everyone else. They do have this company does have a current contract with the city, nothing to do with this particular piece. But this company goes and does home pickups. So if you call in, you have stuff you want to get rid of, they come to the house for free, they pick up the stuff, they take it away. So you don't have to take it to another site. What we're asking for here tonight is they're looking to put a container at our buildings. The proceeds of the container goes to the PTOs. And if someone drops off, they're in the city every day because of these other pickups. So if somebody decided to bring a couch and put it in front of our container, they will send the truck to pick it up and get rid of the couch. And then when it's time to empty the container, they would do that, weigh it, and then the checks would go into the individual PTO's accounts.
Good.
So are these like the clothing recycling bins and
Exactly.
things of that
Yep.
nature? So a few things, and I just want to be honest.
Sure.
Sometimes driving by those things, they're a disaster.
Yep.
And there's, clothes and people just drop anything outside of them. My only concern is the, people not dropping off recycling and people just start dropping off trash there. Because I mean, if you drive around the city and you look in the area, those things are packed to the max, and then people just start dropping off stuff all in front of them.
Yes.
So that's my only concern with those.
Which is why we got rid of them the first time.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what was happening the first time. So, like I said, the difference with this company is they're in the city every day because they're doing their other work. So the call would be made immediately, and whether that is relayed from the custodian, who would see that container with stuff out in front of it, and call either central administration or make that call themselves. We could leave that number there and say, if you see trash out there, just call the company. They're gonna pick it up that day.
So and like I said, my only concern is, if it's out there 24, 48 hours.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then-
absolutely. That's a
And
problem.
what's it look like, and like,
Yeah.
how's that gonna be structured? Or is it like,
I
okay,
agree.
it's becoming a problem, are we just gonna cut this? That's my only reserve with it, because like I said, there's not been one box like that I drive by,
No, you're
and
right.
it's stuffed everywhere. And then we'll be getting calls and complaints over that, so.
I think,
Gotta do it.
yeah, I think my concern is absolutely the same, but
Right.
is you're not sure on who the person is to contact them. Is that,
So it could be, so we can decide that. So
Okay.
we can basically say, I can say that since the custodian is at the building every day, when the custodian comes in the morning, if it's there, if there's something there that shouldn't be there on the outside of that box, then there'll be a 1-800 number that they can call up to get a hold of that person at the company who's going to dispatch to the truck that's already in the city picking up home pickups, or going to a box that they already have with another agency and pick that trash up. So they'll pick up the good
right,
when
and
it's time.
we're not
but the
paying for
bad,
anything,
We're
right?
not paying for any
I
of
don't think
this.
that's fair.
No.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's fair to rely
Right.
on a custodian to do that,
Right.
because, you know.
I can have somebody ride around myself, you know what I'm saying? I can just say to someone that's gonna be a job every morning. I'm only pushing this because of we're always getting requests from some of our PTOs of ways to raise money and different things. According to the company and according to some of their testimonials, there are sizable amounts of money that districts are making, PTOs are making, with these containers. And they're coming from cities also.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that we have to do this wholesale. I think that we can place these boxes at the beginning if we want to do a couple of test runs and see how it works at the beginning. But that's not an all or nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and then if the test run works, then we can, you know, branch out. It behooves us to put these things in a spot
That was,
that we know there's well lit, where we're gonna grab a license plate number, or we're gonna grab somebody who's illegally dumping. If it
Right,
doesn't work,
and my
off it goes.
next,
Yeah.
okay.
cameras will be in
So that's
the
what,
view of
so a
cameras.
spot that's
Okay.
well lit, then, and then if it's well lit, then hopefully we can put it so that a camera will have sight of it, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay.
The company, I can only go by what they've said, and I can only go by the information that the company has also provided with other cities and towns. And they don't have issues with them coming back and doing this. They have not had a situation where the company hadn't shown up. So they're saying they will pick it up that day.
Any other school systems do this? Do
I
you
can get a
know that
list.
use
I
them?
can get a list. I don't have the list of that, but I will have a list and we'll send it out.
Yeah, I'd like to get some.
Yeah, we can.
Bobby?
And if we can just, I mean, if we can have someone come speak on it, and I'm not, you know, opposed to it, because obviously if it's raising money and it's helping the teachers out, I think it's a great thing. I just don't want it to turn into something that it shouldn't be, and if we can get a commitment from them and, you know, it looks a little bit different. Like I said, just, my biggest concern is just them not picking that stuff up and it turns into a landfill.
Right.
I would have them, if this moves to full committee, I would have them
Right,
put on a
and like my
presentation.
concern is a positive turning into a negative very quickly.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah, Mr. Agia, do you have any?
Two things. One is if, before we go to the full committee, if you can contact them, not just give us the
I
list. Contact a few places, see what they say. That means more to me than
Yeah.
showing us a list.
Yeah.
The other thing
I
is,
can.
what do they make, like, you know, when they're saying a lot of money, saying what that is, and as well as like, has any PTOs actually reached out to you or superintendent for this, or is it just strictly, they say that PTOs like the fact that they're getting the money?
Yeah,
Is this being driven by a PTO at all, or?
it's not being driven by a PTO, it's being driven by the company, and there's a ton of letters here from the towns.
Yeah, that's fine. I think
You
just
know,
before
Yeah.
the,
We can do
just to get
that.
more
Yeah.
info.
Yeah.
Bring it to the full committee.
We have it in Westport, and it hasn't
Them?
been a problem. No, it's not them, it's probably another one.
Yeah.
They're green bins, and it has been clean, but it's
Mm-hmm.
a different, you know,
Oh, it's a
community.
different.
But ultimately, I think there needs to be a clause in there that says, when we say or you say, you're not responsive, get them out, they get out within
Yeah.
24 hours. Or
100%.
something like that, I think that would be a good,
100%.
like, hey, we're gonna try it, but we're gonna trust that you're gonna do the right thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you come back to us and say, we take this potential headache on, and the PTO gets $75 a year, might be a different story. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just,
So I'll reach out, I'll get,
I'd almost go so far as to say, because it's not being driven by a PTO, that we should look into the district making the money and then distributing that money to all PTOs so that it's fair. Like if we said if we have 14 schools and we make $1,400, then somehow we have a mechanism to give $100 to each of those. Instead of like the PTO kind of at a school that's lucky, if it was a more popular one,
Sure.
and you're on a
I
side
agree.
street, you might not. So just looking at how that
Well,
works.
they wouldn't care. The company wouldn't care who we.
But I'm saying if they put the money in an account and then you tell them or superintendent
Right.
tells them,
Right.
when you're ready to disperse money, we're gonna
Right.
divide it by 14.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these are the 14 names. I think it kind of would
Okay.
be fair to spread the wealth if it's.
And it's more of a pilot approach.
Yeah.
If you
if
do
they
that.
don't-
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, then they know they're gonna take them out.
Right.
The couches
I
and
don't-
things like that, I don't think, if they keep getting couches, I'm not gonna think they're gonna want to.
Well, that'll be the
They
issue.
might pull out themselves and say,
Yeah.
hey, we
Right.
can't.
I'm tired.
And it might be a location that. there might
Cost
be a
them more to dump
location.
it.
When you look at council laws and the bylaws,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
just had a meeting I watched the other day
Yep.
about dumping, and whatever we do, we should have something to say this is dumping criminal versus civil. They were talking about criminal versus civil. So whatever we gotta do for signage and stuff, like you
Yep.
dump here, you're getting a criminal complaint, put them on camera, and throw the book at them.
Yeah,
100%.
So I make a motion to approve and send to the full committee.
second,
Deb? Please?
Mr. Agia?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
yes.
Ms. Larrabee?
Yes. 3.4, discussion and vote to refer the extension of the lease for the National Guard.
Sure, so, the National Guard building on Dwelly Street is nearing completion. I would think that probably, getting close to being in a punch list kind of thing, where they're running through the building now. The property looks really nice on Dwelly Street. So the 215th group is ready to start thinking about their exit plan. Their lease with us is good until December. They're asking for another year because they probably won't be able to do the full move, since all the move is done by members of the group,
Yep.
until the summer. Currently, they're not in our way, they're not a burden. The fire suppression system has already been through their area, that's done. The auditorium is just about completed, another 2 weeks and it'll be finished. So in the area that they're in, the work, it hasn't affected any of the work. So right now, that's all done. So like my gut feeling is it doesn't affect us. I don't believe that they're gonna be here any longer than they have to, because their facility is pretty pristine now. It's a really nice
Yeah.
area,
But
but
what do they pay? Is it monthly?
they don't pay anything.
They don't pay anything.
No, it's been just, we're gonna get a couple of concerts.
So when they're done, they're done. Like if they
When they're
could
done.
get done earlier, they just
They're
end
gonna
earlier.
leave, right, they're gonna leave.
Motion
So
approved.
we just wanna be sure
Motion
they're in
Second.
place.
to the full committee.
Just move. Extend the National Guard.
Yeah, I got about 10 minutes to get there.
Okay.
Mr. Agia?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes,
Ms. Larrabee?
Yes. Next, 3.5, air quality at schools in the district. Mr. Pachuco. Just an update.
Sure, so,
Actually, can I ask everybody if they're all right to go out of turn here? Because Mr. Bailey might have to leave early. So this is a discussion, 3.6 is discussion to vote and refer. I'd like to go to 3.6 and go out of order.
I'm good.
second,
Good, okay. 3.6, discussion and vote to refer the request to extend the Bishop Conley rental agreement for 1 additional year.
Okay.
so, we have an opportunity to ask for another
Yep.
agreement, which we had already asked them when we were doing all of these agreements. I don't know if anybody is standing in line to rent any of that. I know they do some rentals in the gym. The auditorium is rented quite a bit. So this request is a safety net request. We don't, lease doesn't expire until August of '26, and this would be just to buy another year of time, and it also would give us the opportunity to use other rooms in the building. which currently, every time we've asked for something, they've allowed us, use of it without any dollars. My guess is that if we ask for a lot of the building, then we would pay extra. Just a safety net so that we can do what we need to do.
Up.
Any increase in price?
The price would increase
Then that-
only if we added more space. So for instance, if the second floor was added, and I think there's 12 rooms upstairs or 14 rooms upstairs, and we would be paying by the room. The cost, which is currently, the matrix works out to be $1,000 a room. When we added the few extra rooms this year, we paid the difference.
Per month. $1,000 per room
Per
per
month.
month.
Per month, yes,
not
per month.
year.
Yeah, no, not per year, I'm sorry. Yep.
The only question I have is that, we're not gonna, is there an opt-out for us in the contract?
Yes.
So that we have a meeting coming up in a week about
Right. There
what's
is
the
an
plan.
opt-out, yes.
So we're not like binding us, I mean, this is gonna get referred and then we're gonna have our meeting before the next meeting, so
Right.
I just think we gotta take advantage of all the opportunities. It's kind of a no-brainer if we have an
Right.
opt-out.
Right.
We have space, so
Yes.
I make a motion to refer.
Second.
Deb?
Mr. Agia?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Larry?
Yes. Back to 3.5, just an update on air quality.
Sorry, I gotta go early.
Mr. Bailey is leaving.
Got hundreds of people waiting.
We will continue with Mr.
Another work
Hackett.
engagement, good luck, sir.
I just want to pull up one document. So we did a walk around the schools to get a grand total of the equipment we have, and I undercounted the district-owned equipment. That's on me. I was going by the 2 buildings instead of the 4 buildings of equipment, so let me just pull that up 1 second, please. And so the total of the small dehumidifiers that we have across the district is 148. I wasn't counting the 148 for a couple of reasons. Number one is those are the ones without the pump. So basically, when we use the small dehumidifiers, they're sitting next to a sink. They're okay when weather is not absolutely positively uncomfortable. When it's uncomfortable, they have a tough time keeping up. The next round of dehumidifiers is a combination of the very large units, kind of like the ones we rent, and an intermittent size, which also has a pump, but a little larger. So we have 66 of those. And then we have 17 of the large units that we purchased to go along with the ones we were renting. So the ultimate goal on the dehumidification side would be to possibly buy another 10 at the end of this year's season buying. So in April, May, when we see what we have left in budget.
Yep,
If I have the funds, I'd like to buy another round, possibly 10.
right.
And that would give us a full complement. And hopefully with what we'd have in stock, we would no longer rent.
How many are we renting now?
We rented 20
Of the larger ones?
of the
Yeah,
larger ones.
Right, and we own all the small
We own all the small ones.
tabletop ones,
Well,
right?
the
Yeah.
tabletop ones, we
Yeah.
do have, we did start buying our own large ones
Okay, yeah.
that we put around. The problem with the larger ones is that it's very difficult to put them in a classroom because they're too noisy.
Loud, yeah.
So when we do use them in hallways, the classroom doors are left open in order to get that out of there. On the other flip side of this, back to the report itself, so we have, with the air quality piece, the Green School has got a $3.5 million grant. It's 2.9 and 2.8. and then money coming from rebates from National Grid. So we're gonna do some of the work, some of the same work that we did in the other schools. We did it in Sylvia already as part of the IVAC and the ESSER money. We did work in the Spencer Borden, which is the sister to Green, that building, identical, with a new chiller and things. So the goal for Green this year, which will be in the spring, is they're getting an air-cooled chiller, which is the next generation of chillers that's coming through. It'll be the first one in the district. And that chiller will be installed at Green over the summer, so we won't get a full benefit out of it.
Through that grant?
Through that grant, at no cost to the district. And there's also the BMS controls, so the entire system. Right now, for lack of a better way to put green is an on-off switch. When we need it, we turn it on, and we turn it off. That's not a way that building needs to operate. The building needs to operate like the rest of the buildings in the district. And that, putting in that BMS system, which is almost $1 million in itself, will give us full control, remote control, basically, so that we can adjust temperatures as we need to adjust those temperatures. So that'll bring the green up to where everyone else is. Now that, there is still work to do in those buildings, because we have no central dehumidification. So central dehumidification is kind of what we have at Watson, which is our most advanced system in the district, with the exception of Durfee. And that system there, the system is called DOAS, the company, but it's a rooftop unit that changes air and removes the humidity. That's the goal for every school, is to get that system installed. So on the dehumidification side, we are, I'm going to say, halfway there. And some of the portables coming in and out will take care of us. We had a good summer, and hopefully the same kind of summer next year compared to last year.
Right.
Some of it was with the help of all people involved, teachers and paras, keeping doors closed. It's such a short time that we let kids in the building. When you hold the door open and all those kids go in and you close the door, the floors are soaking wet with the sweating, the ground temperature and the air temperature. And all day long we're dealing with that in some of those buildings. So with their help in closing doors and opening them only when a kid is standing actually right there to get in, that's changed a lot of things this summer. We're also mixing air conditioning and heating, which until the last 3 years now, we never did. But it's a method of trying to beat the system. So we turn the boiler on and the air conditioning at the same time. It takes away the dampness in the building, so sometimes when air conditioning is on, it's trying to keep up. The temperature in the building feels cold to the skin. When we add the heat to it, it levels that off, but it also takes away that built up humidity. And it's leveling that stuff off, dropping the humidity in the buildings. Now, there are still buildings where we have 70% humidity. Green is one of them, because I don't have anything there I can do other than what I just said about raising the temperature, but because I can't regulate the AC, it's fighting a losing battle.
And when is that getting
So
installed?
they're going to start that work this summer. So we're waiting to sign the agreement with CEC, the Clean Energy group, and as soon as we sign that, then we'll be getting that work started at Green, and then we'll move on from there. This other dehumidification, we'll get better information on as soon as we do the district-wide piece.
Mr. Agia?
Just the 148, those, I never thought they worked in the beginning. We were kind of stuck, total waste of money. They're not worth anything. From what I understand, they don't work, they freeze up, they this and that, so those might as well just, I guess you keep them for now, but I don't feel like those are what we need. But when you say like to rent, we shouldn't be renting anymore, we have enough money, you said we need to buy some, I make a motion that we buy those 10 right now. And they'll be ready to go when the season turns, so we're not scrambling, because sometimes these things are not available. So rather than in April say, oh boy, we need 10 more, now we're stuck, we have to rent them. I want to make a motion that we refer them to the full committee to purchase 10 more now.
Okay.
Or if you said come back to the full committee and say, I need 20. But you said 10?
That's,
If you, but I'm
Yes.
saying, if you come back between now and then,
yep,
and tell us we need 20, we need to have a full complement of the big one, so we're not like playing with it.
right.
It's gonna make sure that that doesn't happen again until such time as all these other viewings are done.
Okay.
I need a second.
Second, sorry.
Okay.
Mr. Agia?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey? Ms. Larrabee?
Yes.
The other piece of this is the, I wanna say these are all E&E schools, are they, or like some
No.
of them, or?
So none of, Spencer's not an E&E school, Green is not an E&E school. That's it, those two are trained.
So who comes to fix the green school? Train?
Trained.
And
And E&E, so E&E picks up the slack. So Train's contract is chiller, some rooftop units that haven't been changed out already, some of the VAVs, the boxes, and the exhausts. So there are 4 items that are covered under the Train piece. The Train operating system is horrible. So at some point, we will have to make those changeover. But as far as the equipment that they cover, they do show up 4 times a year to do that maintenance work. Only PM, emergency calls and.
so if something's going on the E&E guys are at the green, something's wrong,
So,
and it's a train thing, so they say, I'm not touching that because it's
No.
a train thing?
no, so they give me a call and say, we have an issue with unit UVH 1. It's a Train piece of equipment, how do you want to handle it? And I said, well, what's wrong with it? And they'll say whether it's a motor gone or something like, if it's a motor that's gone, then we're just gonna change it. But if it's a bigger deal, then we will call Train, and Train's been responsive. The problem is that they don't cover the whole building, so it's a duplication of services. We're getting some stuff done by them, and other stuff we have to use E&E to use, or we use our own people.
And to me, it's a lot of like, who to blame, you know, if we have
Oh, yeah. No,
Ken
I
Pacheco
agree.
company is in charge
Yep.
of that, making sure all that stuff's working, it's a lot easier.
Yep.
Because one company comes in and says, hey, that's Train's problem, Train says that E&E's not touching this, so that's the part I'm having a hard time trying to figure out.
Right.
What are we ultimately gonna do, because we spend a lot of money on preventive maintenance, which I agree with, but we've said this before. I think we need to hire some, for whatever price it is,
Yep.
people that work for us to say,
Yep.
"Lisa, we have enough need here, and we're spending almost $1 million a year with E&E.
The problem is they're gonna be union employees, and there is nobody who's gonna work for what we pay.
No, I get it, but what
You know
I'm
what I'm
saying
saying?
is,
It's like-
as this is going on,
Oh, yeah, no, I get it.
simultaneously, we should be looking at, we need an expert in HVAC, whatever.
Mhm.
So if the guys from E&E that are doing this work get paid $250,000 a year because of their licenses and this and that, I'd rather get a job description, put it out there and say, does anybody that has these skills wanna come here to work for 250, I'm just throwing out a
No,
number.
but I'm not even saying.
$250,000. We hire a person like that that's on here all day to make sure these things are working right to the T, like you would do in your own private business.
Mhm.
We don't spend $800,000 with E&E.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get out of, because we used to spend with 100,000, then it was 200,000, then, so
So the issue is there's a whole chunk of that money, unfortunately, Ms. Aguiar, that is the operating system. So every operating system, with the exception of like 4 schools, is, and I'm gonna say the name wrong, but it's Invensis. It's a different name right now. It's a Schneider Electric product. That is the operating system. We're paying for that operating system. If tomorrow we changed vendors, they have to buy that from E&E. They have to buy that from Schneider, and E&E is their local rep. So if Joe Schmo comes in and becomes the new E&E for the district, they're gonna buy that right of that, what it is, if it's $500,000, whatever it is a year, to operate that system.
and there's nothing we can do because we've made those decisions.
Well, we
Already.
wouldn't change the system anyway,
I'm just
because
saying,
it's an operating
but we
system, we have to
shouldn't-
have something.
We shouldn't have
I-
any system ever that a company has this over a barrel that just says, this, is, you know, I own this, and
Yeah, I know.
when,
Unfortunately, we do it with tech, we do it with everybody, because nobody wants to work on product
I
unless
agree,
it's
but I'm
theirs.
not saying it's.
I agree with you. I
I
agree
don't
with
think
you.
it's a good
No.
government. It's not good government. It's not good government for tech to be having people hold us hostage, basically. Because if you do this, then you're gonna spend this, and you're gonna, like, so then they can have a monopoly and just charge us whatever we want. So when we're spending all this money.
Mhm.
My thing is, thinking long-term, we should be getting out of those, eliminating or lowering those, or
Yep.
giving us better buyouts to say, if somebody else comes in, this is the set price, this is not, there's a lot of like wishy-washy stuff that we would almost be stuck. And I don't think that's a good government,
Well, we could
Yeah.
start with the job descriptions and see what it would take. I'm gonna tell you that I put myself on a pedestal as a plumber, thinking that I am the most sought-after thing in the world, and HVAC has got us by a big margin. HVAC is the new
Mhm.
absolute job to have, because they've built themselves up into this major factor in every single building. The air quality, nothing is more talked about than air quality. Indoor air quality is all you ever hear from everybody, and it's the major piece. And they've done it. They've transformed that. They transformed an unlicensed trade into this mega job. So I agree.
Right, I just think that we won't know if we have people
Until we
unless we do. Or you look at E&E and say, the contract's 800,000, but 400,000 is not salaries. You know,
Yeah, right.
I can see we got guys coming here, we criticize them because they leave too early and they're not working 7 to 3. You took care of that.
Yep.
But they getting good money.
Mhm.
So if we kind of do a comparison, say, hey, you know what, let's try it at the X rate, because we could, and then if it's like 2 years from now, because if we have a contract, then maybe we do. Or do we have things that we can do our own? If we want to hire our own HVAC guy that has those skill sets, we can't pay $70,000 a year.
Right.
I get it, everybody gets it. So sure, instead of being afraid of it, I would say, no, let's put it out there. We need an HVAC guy that's gonna come in and do, just like a plumber.
Mhm.
A plumber is valuable to fix the things that we need to do, because if you go out and hire him private, you're gonna pay through the roof.
Yes.
So why should we pay a plumber $70,000?
Yep.
If on the outside market, they can make 90,000, but then we pay a groundskeeper 68,000. Like, it's all out of whack. So I'm just saying, throw it out
Sure.
there, we can at least give you the chance to try.
Right.
And, the air quality piece that I wanted to talk about a little is the asbestos,
Yes.
which I do have, Dr. Pill gave me those things to look at. When we went to the whole, that fine or whatever that
Right.
thing was, it looked like some of it was paperwork, not being done, or,
Yeah, it's all paid. So basically, the citation, so to speak, is them bringing light to documents that every school has to have that has asbestos in it. So that O'Hara report, which is all of those documents there, basically lay out what every building has in it, that we know has known material, construction material or building materials that have asbestos in them. And what it does is highlight where it is, tells you where it is, and then when it's removed, how it's removed, because every single time it's touched, the company who's touching it knows that book, that it's gonna go in that book. So our LSP, Universal, they maintain those books every year, and then we slide the pieces in that have to be slid in. So the work that's going on down there, every single document that's part of that project ends up in that book for 3 years. And then after 3 years, these become archived, and a new book has to be built. And then they start, because you'd never be able to, you'd have volumes,
it's
you know
just a
what I'm saying?
regulation that
It's a
tells us what's happening.
Exactly.
My concern was when we got it, was that that report said that we didn't have the books handy,
Yeah.
nobody knew where the books were.
Right.
It raised a lot of questions, for
Mhm.
what in the heck
Yes.
is going on, how do we
Yep.
have this, how do we not have somebody certified?
Yep.
Which you've rectified now.
Yep.
But the reason why I wanted to ask, because we should know, here's what the books are,
Mhm.
if the books were missing,
Yep.
we should get something to say, why were they missing? If we had to recreate, I think we had a contractor or some other person, private
Yes.
consultant to
Yeah.
do stuff. Why are they doing it? Is it, I'm not looking for an answer, but say,
Yeah.
why can't we just do? like,
So we
you know,
can't, we can make the book after they give us all the material. So it's not something, because it's gonna be a licensed site professional, so they have to have the
But I'm saying like
licenses.
over years, so like if these get archived, but the material is the same, roughly, because
Right,
nothing
so
changes, so now the next book would start with the baseline of this.
So it's all, you're right, so basically the baseline of that book, not all the material in it, but the baseline stays in there, it'll stay there forever. And those pages are added in, and then the new pages each year are added in. this company does this inspection for us, so we'll do some of the work in it, but the majority of the work is still done by them. They also have to train all the employees, so every custodian has to be trained, and then their documents put in that book, so that they understand what they can and can't do in the course of
And
the day.
those were not
And those were
available
not in
when they
there.
came in.
Exactly,
So they might have been present somewhere,
exactly.
just not in the proper.
Because this company's been doing this work for, I want to say it goes back to maybe '98 till now. So the books are available every 3 years, like those will say 22, because the new ones just came out now. And now they have to be in a 3-ring binder. They can't be bound
Yeah.
that way.
So like for instance, at the New Durfee,
Yes,
when we took the asbestos walls off the field house back in
Right.
the day,
yep.
that would have to go into.
That would have been in
Hey,
there, except
like-
it was a demolition, so there was no book to put it in, right? So, but now, at the Pace Building, there's a section that we're
But
putting,
related, it's,
it's the same thing, right? So the Pace Building, it has its own book. And that building, we're removing some of that asbestos sheathing on the outside. It's transite is the proper name for it, but that asbestos sheeting that's on the outside of that building is being removed by a licensed site professional overseeing an abatement contractor like Alpine. And all of those documents with all the weights and where it was all sent, all of that stuff is gonna be in the new Pace book when it's printed. So everybody will see all that work that happened. In the building, if they penetrate something that is asbestos, or if they're doing fire suppression work in the boiler room, or in the basement where there are pipe wrap of asbestos, that building doesn't have a lot of pipe wrap as asbestos because it's all been removed, but it does have those outside panels, every single one of them is transite.
so I guess the bottom line is that we didn't have them, but we now have them all set up.
Yes.
So there's no asbestos that we're not tracking, because I think the public needs to hear
Yes.
this, that we know where it is, we document where it is.
Yes.
Nobody removes asbestos on their own. We have a professional to come in to sign it,
Right.
and it's all documented every single time asbestos gets disturbed, moved, whatever.
Yes,
Because I think that's what I hear in the community is, how do we know that we're safe? There's asbestos flying all over the place. There's dust at the other
Yeah.
school. Why didn't we test the dust?
Right.
So I think that's good information to have.
Absolutely.
Maybe present something at the full committee, just so
Sure.
you can say, here's the situation, here's the
Right.
story. We have the books.
Right.
Josh is now certified.
yes,
This,
right,
I think people just need to know that we have our ducks in a row,
sure,
and we're not gonna now
absolutely.
back off. It's gonna be contained. So
Exactly.
with that, I yield. Thank you.
Any new business today?
One more.
Yes, Mr. Aguirre.
We did it.
We did,
Well, you-
one more. Yeah,
So the only new business I have is based on the field supervisor positions. It led me to try to remember things on the budget. So these are budgeted positions within the.
within nutrition,
Within nutrition.
yes,
I'd like to request that a full report of the nutrition account, along with the budget approvals, go on the agenda in November, so that we can get a handle on it. The last we've heard of that was we have too much money in the account, and we haven't really seen anything otherwise, but in thinking back, and looking at this, I'm trying to remember, did we ever approve the budget for them? Did we ever approve, which I don't think we do, and I think we're supposed to. So I think that's just food for thought for November 10th,
Sure.
that when we do we have to approve like the money's in it, this, that, we approve the contracts.
right,
We should be approving the budget. So in the budget, it should show all the things, and then like 2 field supervisors,
right,
like whatever.
sure,
So we can see all of the money that's in nutrition, because that report was kind of, from the auditors, not good.
Yep.
It's good that we have enough money.
Right.
It's not necessarily good for, what are we doing about it? And then we as a committee should have a say in what we're gonna do about it, rather than the money gets spent and all of a sudden now we're like, oh, by the way, we bought 100 new registers or something like that.
and at some point, we would like to hire a consultant, a
Bless you.
kitchen consultant,
Excuse me, thank
to
you.
go building by building, since those funds can only be used for nutritional purposes. We'd like to go through the building, because some of the equipment's getting very old, and it needs to be repaired and replaced. And by using a consultant, there is some equipment in a building, is easy to make comparisons to, is RPA. When you walk into the kitchen of RPA, That's old stuff. It really is, and it needs a complete facelift. And we had talked about this for a while back. It's $1 million build-out in an RPA alone. But there are other buildings like Talbot that could use it, the older buildings. The serving kitchens are a little easier, but the cooking kitchens need upgrades. So it would be nice to bring a consultant on board that's going to go building by building and then give us a good analysis of what we need and then move forward as the committee chooses.
I have no
with
concerns
this.
with that at all. I would just say that's what I'm referring to.
Right.
So like when we look at it, we say we got X amount of dollars.
Yep.
When we did our budget, when we were supposed to do the budget for that thing,
Right.
at that time you say, hey, listen, we have extra money, or we get antiquated equipment. We
Right.
need to do something. We had to do chapter 34, whatever it is for the
Right.
building. No, I have no problem with that.
Okay.
We just have never approved the actual line items for that.
Okay.
That would include utility workers, the whole bit. You know, we're sort of involved in only spots in it rather than the whole, so appreciate that. Thank you. Are you? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Agia?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey? Ms. Larrabee?
Yes.